If you want to save time, become an expert prompt engineer. But what's prompt engineering? It sounds very complicated. Well, it's actually not that scary. Prompt engineering is the way you give instructions to AI for a better output that's more tailored to you. According to DataCamp, prompt engineering is the practice of designing and refining prompts, questions, or instructions to elicit specific responses from AI models. So why is that important? Well, someone who is really good at prompt engineering can get AI to give them good creative writing, useful programming help, and if you're really good at it can do your job for you. Someone who's not so good at prompt engineering will probably just end up wasting their time doing the work themselves, which is why we are making a masterclass on how to turn you into an expert prompt engineer. Now, when I say I've done a lot of research, it's actually disturbing how much research I've done on prompt engineering since ChatGPT first came out. And I think I have found pretty much the perfect prompts for each of the major AI tools out there at the time of filming this video. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to share with you these prompts so that when you're done watching this video, you'll be able to basically steal my work. How does that sound? Yeah, it sounds good. You're gonna get powerful prompts from some of the most used AI tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E, etc., etc. After this video, you're gonna go from revising your prompt a million times to getting it right on the first go. Okay, who's ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. We ready? Let's go. Okay, so what are the best ways to prompt engineer for ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Bing, and Claude? Step number 1, set the stage. Tell the AI who you are and who you would like it to be. You can say, I'm a grade 5 student and you are my teacher. Step number 2, state what you would like the outcome to be. Do you want to learn a new skill, or maybe you want to have an essay that you can walk away with? Step number 3, be specific about what kind of format you'd like. Is it going to be bullet points, or maybe a paragraph, or maybe it's code that you can copy and paste? Step number 4, after you've received your answer, don't be afraid to follow up with questions or any revisions that you need. The hope is that you get it in 1 or 2 goes, of course, but sometimes revisions are necessary. Step number 5, make sure that you're always fact checking. Go back to Google or a competitor bot to make sure that you're always getting accurate information. Put it all together, and what does that spell? Let's see how this prompt would actually turn out. I am a book reviewer and you are a critically acclaimed writer. I would like you to write me an essay with meaningful insights on the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Use 1,500 words in paragraph form and make sure that it sounds eloquent in vocabulary and context. Once you get a response back, an example of a follow-up question could be, can you expand on a specific point? If you do it this way, you're gonna get responses that are tailored to your needs and responses that are actually accurate for ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. So speaking of Gemini, Gemini 1.5 Pro is now publicly available, and you can do so much more with your prompts now because Gemini can process a ton more information than ever before. According to Google, Gemini 1.5 Pro introduces a breakthrough experimental feature in long context understanding. So for example, in the keynote, they talk about how you can drop an hour-long video into Gemini 1.5 Pro and ask a question like, what did it say on that note that guy took out of his pocket in that one scene that lasted a few short seconds? Like, yes, it gets that granular. Gemini 1.5 Pro can process text, images, audio, and video. So let's say you have a podcast and you want to ask it a specific question about something they said at the end. This is now possible. Gemini now also processes over 30,000 lines of code. Yes, 30,000 lines of code. And I know some of you coders are gonna be so happy about this. Maybe it's not the full volume that you need, but it's still a lot. And also 700,000 words, guys. 700,000 words. So basically, it can process the terms and conditions to Spotify. But seriously, guys, if you want to analyze a contract or a report and pull out very specific lines and phrases, this is now possible with your prompts. Here are 3 prompts that you might find useful using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc. Okay, first one is for my developers. Try this. Okay, I want you to act as a software developer. I will provide some specific information about requirements for a web app, and you come up with the architecture and code for developing a secure app with Golang and Angular. Here's my first request, and then you would list your requirements. Next prompt is for my content creators. I want you to act as a social media influencer. You will create content on the platforms Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You will engage with followers. The goal is to increase brand awareness and sell my products. Here is my first request for you. I need help creating a TikTok campaign to promote my new line of dishware. Make sure you also prime it with information about your business. So this next prompt is for generating business ideas. Generate a business startup idea based on a desire. So for example, when I say, I wish there would be an ice cube that melts slowly, you would generate a business plan, including a business idea, a business name, mission statement, target audience, users' pain points to solve, main value propositions, sales and marketing channels, revenue stream sources, cost structures, key activities, key resources, key partners, ways to find and manufacture products, idea validation steps, estimated first year of cost of operation, and potential business challenges to look for. Write the results in a markdown table. Are you a writer? I got you. Try this. I want you to act as an author, a novelist. You will come up with creative and captivating stories that can engage young readers aged 18 through to 24 throughout this book. Use a fiction genre. The aim is to write something that has an engaging plotline with complex characters and unexpected twists. Divide it into 25 chapters, make it between 250 and 300 pages long, and a cliffhanger at the end of each chapter. Who's ever heard of Stable Diffusion? Or how about DALL-E? Well, imagine you have a magic paintbrush that can turn your ideas into pictures. That's kind of what Stable Diffusion is. It's AI that creates images based on text prompts that you write. And so essentially it's text to image based. So you would describe what you want in words like a cat riding a skateboard in outer space, and Stable Diffusion will paint a picture of that scene. It's like having a superpowered artist friend who can create anything that you can think of. It analyzes tons of images and text to understand what things look like and how to put them together. Stable Diffusion is different because it creates stable images, meaning they're not blurry and they're not messy. So it's going to start with a blurry picture and slowly add details based on your description, making the image clearer and clearer. So what can you use this for? Here are some cool ideas. Concept art. Artists can use it to visualize their ideas for characters, games, or movies. Creative inspiration. If you feel stuck creatively, Stable Diffusion can help take what's in your brain and actualize it as a really good starting point. Text generation improvement. Text-to-image AI tools were notorious for being unstable to generate text on screen. The images would sometimes contain text-like letters that are actually more like hieroglyphs. Looks like text, but actually isn't. Before we get into the best prompts for Stable Diffusion, prompting for ChatGPT versus Stable Diffusion is going to be different, guys. So here are the rules of the road with Stable Diffusion. Prompts are ordered from most important to least important, from top to bottom and left to right. You can ask it for specifics on subject, lighting, photography style, color scheme, and words to describe your desired image. Negative prompts allow you to tell Stable Diffusion what you don't want in your image. Parentheses, also called curved brackets and square brackets, are used to control the importance of words in your prompts. Parentheses increase the importance, while square brackets decrease it. This is called prompt weighting, and it allows you to control how much impact certain words have over others within your prompt. Prompt editing is a powerful way to control your generated images by swapping or removing the prompts being used during generation. CFG scale. Stable Diffusion uses a concept similar to CFG scale called guidance scale. Lower guidance scales allow for more creative freedom, while higher scales make the model adhere more strictly to the prompt. Batch allows you to generate a few images with a low CFG scale, which stands for classifier free guidance, to get a more varied set of images, and then run an image you like with a higher CFG scale. And if you want to get really fancy with it, Prompt Matrix is used to see what impacts your individual prompts have on your generated image. Whew, that was a lot. I know, but in a nutshell, guys, this is what you need to know. Prompt editing is a powerful way to control your images in Stable Diffusion. Experiment with swapping and removing words during generation. Stable Diffusion uses a guidance scale that controls how strongly the image conforms to the prompt. Lower values give you more creative freedom. Generating multiple images with different guidance scales is a common workflow to explore variations and refine your results. If you'd like example prompts, check out this site, guys. It's called Prompt Hero, and search best prompts for Stable Diffusion to see examples of what can be generated. Leonardo AI is another image generation tool that will help you develop prompts within it as well. Meta AI has also included their text-to-image generator directly into Facebook and Instagram, and you can generate AI images directly in your chats on Instagram and on Messenger. And even on WhatsApp, guys, you can literally text someone with an AI image that you made in just seconds. How crazy is that? Oh, wait, and you can also ask Meta AI to animate it and turn it into a GIF and then share it with your friends. I could talk about the new features of Meta AI forever, but that's another video on its own. Do you guys want prompts for text-to-video tools? If this is your first time hearing about this type of tool, OpenAI has a tool, guys. It's called Sora, and there's also Caber AI. These are cutting-edge AI models that generate realistic videos based on text descriptions. So Sora does not create the video all at once. What it does is it makes it frame by frame and introduces meaningful content based on the prompt. Unlike other AI video generators, Sora can create videos up to a minute long while still maintaining that high resolution and realistic visuals. It can handle complex scenes, but the more detailed and the more specific the prompt, the better the results are going to tend to be. So, here's how to make the perfect prompt for text-to-video AI. Be clear about what you want in the video. Describe the characters, setting, actions, emotions, and any visual details that you envision. Adding details like aspect ratio, resolution, or film styles, that can all customize the final look. Be specific about style and tone, like comedic or dramatic, and mention it in the prompt. Here's an example of a prompt given by OpenAI themselves, guys. Context. The video is a fly-through of a vibrant, futuristic city at dusk, highlighting advanced technology and architecture. Visual details. The city should have a neon color palette with towering skyscrapers, flying cars, and bustling streets. Make sure that you have a strong narrative structure. Think of your prompt as a concise story with a beginning, middle, and end. This helps Sora understand the flow of events. For example, this video was created with this prompt. Beautiful, snowy Tokyo City is bustling. The camera moves through the city street, following several people enjoying the beautiful, snowy weather and shopping at nearby stalls. Gorgeous sakura petals are flying through the wind along with snowflakes. And this video was also created with this prompt. New York City submerged like Atlantis. Fish, whales, sea turtles, and sharks swim through the streets of New York. Here's some more examples of what Sora can generate, and you can find the exact prompts on the website openai.com/Sora. Scary good. I know, right? And remember guys, this is as bad as it's ever gonna get. These AI tools are only gonna improve over time and get better at the speed of light. Who knows what the future will bring? Will I be able to write in a prompt and get a video of me exactly like this, as it is? Or maybe this is already AI and you just haven't noticed yet. JK. Or am I? So guys, to get amazing AI videos like this, use vivid language. Paint a picture with words. And once you get your result, refine and iterate. Do not be afraid to revise your prompt. Experiment with different phrasings and see how Sora interprets them. Also, hot tip guys, break down complexities. If your video idea involves a long sequence of events, consider splitting it into multiple prompts for Sora to process and then stitch the generated videos together later. Guys, and this is just one text-to-video AI tool. There are so many more tools out there. There's InVideo, Synthesia, Colossyan, Pika, Kyber AI, Veed.io, guys, and so much more.
Here's an example of a well-designed prompt, and we'll break it down in a second. Imagine you are the owner of a pet getaway called DJ's Doggy Daycare. Your mission is to create a brand identity that reflects a top-tier pampering experience for pets. What makes us unique is our focus on luxury comfort and personalized plans tailored to each pet's joy and well-being. The tone is warm and playful, mirroring the delightful and carefree atmosphere pets enjoy with us. Highlight the comfort and happiness pet owners will feel knowing their pets are hanging out in their own little paradise. I created this prompt with what I have deemed the route method, as in your route to the right prompt. Let's break this down. Here's how I create the perfect prompt. R stands for role. First, you want to tell the AI who they should embody. A great way to start a prompt is, imagine you are. O stands for objective. Next, we specified the goal of the prompt. Start this with your mission. U stands for unique selling point. We outlined essential elements that make us stand out. Start this sentence with, what makes us unique is. T stands for tone. We included what style we want to convey based on what we already know about our brand. Some good ideas for tones are friendly, conversational, heartwarming, playful, inspirational or motivational, serious, you could do sales-driven, persuasive, educational, etc. You get the gist. You can mix and match all different tones to get a more specific output. E stands for emotions. We directed the AI to craft content that resonates on an emotional level with a specific audience. This will help strengthen the connection with them. Start this with highlight. So overall, this is a solid prompt. but there are actually 2 more things that we didn't include, mostly because it didn't fit in the acronym that I made up. So I like to think of these as bonus letters that will help you to achieve way better results. These are actually my favorite prompting hacks. So letter number 1, the letter E, stands for examples. Including examples in your prompt is a game changer. It steers the AI to generate content that not only matches your specifications, but also vibes with your brand's essence or inspiration. So at the end of your prompt, you might say, here are some examples of pieces of our current brand identity. Or, here are some examples of other brand identities that I like to use as inspiration, but do not copy them. This is important to add because it may give you something that's too similar to the examples that inspired you. This guides AI in understanding your brand's voice or the creative direction you admire. Bonus letter number 2, the letter B stands for, and this is my favorite word, brain dump. Brain dump anything you have in your head, any ideas, additional information that can help guide the outcome in the right direction. For example, I want this to be targeted towards pet owners in the GTA. Or I would like to use my dog Jimmy as the mascot of the company. Now, here's a sneaky little hack. If you're ever not confident in your prompt, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna ask ChatGPT or whatever AI model you're using, and you'll say, this is the prompt that I'm going to use. Act as a prompt engineer and help me write it in a way that will get the best, most relevant responses. And then paste your prompt. There we go. Now you have a perfectly refined prompt from the master itself. Now, before we get moving and grooving on trying out this prompting framework, let's dive a little deeper. Not too deep though, and don't worry, I'm not here to overwhelm you. Here are 2 of the most important rules when using AI in marketing and copywriting. Treat AI outputs as drafts to be refined. Edit and rework the AI-generated copy, and then feed the revised version back into the chat. This teaches the model to better copy your brand's voice over time and ensures that your content doesn't feel like AI wrote it, you know? It's my biggest ick. I hate it when you can tell that brands use AI to write their copy. It looks cheap. We don't want that. You also want to make the process of creating AI prompts a cycle of continuous improvement, like anything in life. Another thing that helps with this is providing specific feedback. For example, you could highlight elements that particularly match your brand style or point out things that you don't like. This ongoing conversation between you and AI will help it to produce more tailored content each time. By using these practices, you can transform those AI outputs from generic beginnings to content that actually represents your brand, keeping your use of AI invisible to your audience. Now, we've covered a lot, so let's actually put it into action. Stick with me while we come up with the ultimate marketing plan for DJ's Doggy Daycare, and we're gonna use various AI softwares that you're definitely gonna wanna know about. Let's start with ChatGPT. We're going to feed the original prompt we created into the message box. Now, you see ChatGPT has generated an outline that's going to lead us in the right direction for building our new brand identity. You see, it's given us color ideas, font ideas, logo design, and come on, Yappy Hour? I literally can't think of a better name for community engagement. So this is all great, but I feel overwhelmed. Do you feel overwhelmed? Like, what do we do with all this information? This chat is now primed to talk about DJ's Doggy Daycare. So we can continue on in this chat as if we're having a conversation with it, including as much detail as we can in our prompts. The more detail, the better the outcome. So let's get ourselves a game plan. In our next prompt, this chat already knows its role, its unique selling point, the tone, emotions. We just want to give it a new objective. I want you to create a marketing plan for DJ's Doggy Daycare. I want this to be a 2-month soft launch plan written in a weekly schedule outlining exactly the projects to focus on. I need this to cover both online and in-person interactions. Here we go. Now we have a marketing plan. We're going to go through how you can use AI for most of these deliverables. The first thing we're going to do is social media teasers. Let's get some ideas. We're going to try this on Google Gemini. But before we do that, we want to take this prompt and add it to some sort of document. I personally use Notion, so I'll create a new document called DJ's Marketing Prompt, and I'll place the prompt here. This way, you always have access to it and you can adapt it as you go. Google Gemini. This is Google's version of ChatGPT. It's pretty similar. You have your chats along the side here, and you enter your prompt here. We're going to take our prompt and just adapt it a little. Let's say you want to post on Instagram 4 times a week. You can use our original prompt, but again, just change the objective. Your mission is to create a 2-month social media calendar that reflects a top-tier pampering experience for pets. And then you can include any examples of past social posts or ideas that have inspired you. And of course, add in your ideas and additional information. Look at this, you now know where to focus your posts, what your content pillars are, you have a sample calendar for 2 months, and hashtags to use. This is insane. All right, moving on to the next part of the marketing plan, making a website. This is super easy with Shopify. I will leave a link for you to try it out for free down in the description. And special shout out here to Shopify Magic, which is a feature that will help you to write and edit product descriptions with AI. So make sure to look out for that because that's another task off your to-do list. You're gonna need content written for your website, right? Let's head over to Poe. Poe is like a hub of different AI chatbots. You can use ones like Claude and GPT-4. This looks scary, we're just gonna stick with the assistant. I'll paste the prompt and change the objective. Your mission is to create website copy for the homepage of my new Shopify store. I want this to be minimal text, think fun one-liners that reflect a top-tier pampering experience for pets. Now you have various one-liners for a simple brand website. You'll see down here that you'll also have suggested next prompts, and you can even compare different answers from various chatbot models. Let's try out Claude here. Now you have a different answer, so you can combine elements or just pick your favorite. All right, friends, we are moving along. You're getting the picture. This prompt is magic. Are you feeling like a prompting master yet? Do you feel confident? Let me know in the comments. But let's change it up a little bit. Most of these chatbots have felt kind of similar so far. So let's take a look at Gravity Write. Oh, okay, this looks a little different. Just look at all of these options available for you to use. We can't go through them all or we'd be here all day. So let's make a blog post. These are something that's gonna help your business grow and provide valuable content. And if I remember correctly, according to our social media content plan, blog posts are in week 3's deliverables. There's this tool here that caught my eye. Human written blog post. Remember, we don't want our audience to know that AI is creating our content. So let's see if this human blog post needs any editing. We'll copy and paste the title here in this blog title section. Select generate. My mind is blown. Did you see how easy that was? And it totally sounds like someone wrote it. You could literally just copy and paste this to your blog. That is crazy. Yappy hour has to be addressed, right? Let's plan out these community events that we'll use to promote our business. For all you Microsoft fans out there, this one's for you. Let's test out Microsoft Copilot. Okay, this looks cool. I see here that you can toggle to choose a conversation style. Let's go with creative. I'm going to paste my prompt. Now I'm going to change the objective. Your mission is to create an event itinerary for our soft launch event called Yappy Hour and give it a month-long marketing plan to promote the event. Pro tip here, Copilot thrives with context. So I'm going to add some additional information after my prompt to give more context as to what we're looking to have in the output. I want the purpose to be that dog owners can come see the facility, stay for a beer, let their dogs roam around, and get to know the place. I want to emphasize that their dog getting the chance to experience the facility with their owner is paramount to their adjustment when their owner is not there. All right, let's give this a shot. Boom, a perfectly tailored event itinerary and marketing plan. There are some great ideas here. Giveaway ideas, contest ideas, social media ideas. This is everything you need to get started. Ask it to expand on certain points as you see fit. Moving on, I would love to generate an email campaign, but we don't have an email list. So the perfect way to generate an email list, a lead magnet. This is essentially a piece of valuable content that you can give in exchange for email addresses. Now, you really want this to emulate who you are because you're using it to attract new people to your brand. So if you want to completely replicate your brand's voice, Jasper is the tool for you. On Jasper, you can actually add your brand voice. So this lets the output be tailored more towards your style. Under voice, just add either text from past projects or upload files from past projects, even enter your website. Jasper will scan the content and learn your voice. Let's specify a task. Lead magnet checklist for busy dog owners dropping their dog at daycare. We're brought into a document here. By the way, you can ask any chatbot to give you lead magnet ideas by using the prompting fundamentals that we covered earlier. Now we're asked questions related to our prompt. This program is essentially guiding us through prompt engineering. So we will include any checklist items, our target audience, as you can see there are suggestions here, And then you can add any additional information. The more questions you fill out, the more relevant the output will be. And there you go, you have the content for a checklist designed exactly for your target audience. You can continue building out this document by just pressing this plus button and giving Jasper another prompt. For example, here under Meet and Greet, you could add a section about our monthly Yappy Hour. It's also important to always go above and beyond with value in a lead magnet. So let's add at the bottom here, include a 10% off your first stay coupon. Now you would need to take this information and design it into something eye-catching using a program like Canva. If you want a video on how to use AI in design, let me know in the comments. I think that would be a really fun video to make. Now, if you're a business owner, you want to save time, right? We all do. We're on a roll with saving time with AI now, but there is one more sneaky way to save even more time. Repurpose your content. When you write something up like an ad or, let's say, a lead magnet, you can repurpose that content into other types. I'm going to copy this lead magnet and head to this remix button. Then I'm going to paste it. Here you can instruct Jasper what to do. Let's say, write the copy for a landing page collecting emails in exchange for this lead magnet. You'll see it gets added to the same document, which means you can keep everything in the same place. Then you can do it again by just entering a new prompt. Write the copy for an ad promoting this checklist. Write a welcome email for users who download the checklist. You can even follow that up with, write an email to be sent 3 days after downloading the checklist. You get the point. You can generate all different kinds of content with this. Ads, website copy, email announcements, the list goes on. Here's to making our lives easier and learning a new skill while we're at it. And of course, at the center of your brand, it all comes down to how you portray yourself online. And the best place to start after building your brand identity is building a cohesive, user-friendly website. You can get your site up and running in no time with Shopify. Give it a try today with the free trial linked below.
Can you tell which image was created using prompt engineering? Hint, hint, it's the better one. I'll be primarily using Midjourney today, but I'll weave in differences you might see in other apps like DALL-E 3 and Stable Diffusion. I do want to say there's 2 versions of Midjourney. The first one you can access through Discord, and the second one is on their website. I'm going to show you both throughout the video. So the prompt. A dog sitting by a lake is our box cake example of a prompt. It gives us a picture that definitely qualifies as a dog sitting by a lake, but let's see what happens when we increase the quality of ingredients we are using. How do we do that? We do that by increasing the specificity, creativity, and details of our prompt. Let me just say, the amount of videos I watched that claimed to tell me how to prompt engineer and just ended up providing me with a bunch of adjectives was one too many, okay? I will talk about it a bit, but I will not make your ears bleed and I will not waste 10 minutes of your life. To summarize, what they all basically say is that AI image generators won't ask you what you want. They will just show you what you asked for. So you have to be descriptive and provide key details such as who, what your subject is, what they're doing, adjectives about your subject, even style, lighting, inspiration, etc. Now, I've already mentioned a few key details in that list, but let's break that down step by step and flesh out our box cake prompt example together. The first step before writing a prompt is intention. Ask yourself, what is this image for and what do I want the audience to feel? The biggest problem people have when prompt engineering is lack of specificity. So knowing what you want going into it is already going to bring you that much closer to your goal image. So let's say I want this image of a dog sitting by a lake for my website that sells camping equipment. When people look at little Sammy enjoying that lake, I want them to feel enticed to join him. I want them to feel peaceful, at ease, serene, and long to be by that very same lake. Keeping that in mind, let's continue. So what is the subject of your image? For us, it's easy, a dog. How would you describe the subject? We can do better than just a dog because Sammy is more than that. Hint, hint, a thesaurus will be your best friend. But the first steps are easy. I'm just gonna pick a breed, such as a golden retriever, because I'm partial to them, because spiritually I am one. How about a middle-aged, scruffy golden retriever? But let's not stop at his appearance. What feeling does he give off? Perhaps he looks serene, at ease, lazy, and cuddly. We are not going to include all these words for now, just the ones that depict what we want in the most accurate way. Details are important, but it's equally as important to be concise. If you make your prompt overly complicated, a lot of generators may get confused. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep it simple and just start with middle-aged for now. What is the action? He is lying lazily by the lake, watching the birds, patiently waiting for his owner to join him. It's important to make your subject active, even if Sammy is being a lazy good boy. It doesn't mean they have to be moving, but it does mean they have to interact with their environment in some way. By including an action, it tells the AI how your subject interacts with other elements in the image and typically results in a more cohesive product. Again, the more concise detail, the better. What does the lighting look like? If you want your image to be lit, well, it better be lit. I'm sorry, I had to. A lot of people forget about how important lighting is and how easily it can transform a mediocre, flat image and elevate it into something outstanding. It affects the mood, atmosphere, texture, warmth, and focus of the image, which is why it must be included in your prompt if you want a high-quality image. So, since it's a camping scene, we definitely need a fire, which will provide that cozy ambiance we're looking for. But I also want a little more magic. What's more magical than golden hour at night? So let's say we have a middle-aged golden retriever laying by a calm lake, watching the birds fly across the sunset at golden hour. Just to the left of him sits a smoldering campfire, casting a warm glow across his fur. Oof, I can smell the marshmallows already. I could also add details about whether he is backlit by the sun, in soft focus to diffuse it, or in harsh light if I want maybe longer shadows in the image. The more you know about lighting, the more you can guide AI. But don't worry, we got you covered. Check out the description below for a link to a PDF of a quick list of lighting terms to use. What lens am I seeing this image through? Lenses. This is something that people skip over all the time in their prompts. All images are seen through a certain set of lenses, which includes our eyes. By changing the lens, we can dramatically change the image. So let's take our box cake prompt. Look at what happens when we change the lens to a wide-angle lens or a fisheye lens. Completely different images. We also dropped a quick list in the description below of some lenses you can use. But if you really want to get crazy, you can put in your favorite make or model of a lens. Like if you were doing a face portrait, try Panavision Primo 70mm. That lens is worth more than my car, and you can get it for free with AI. To be honest, a lot of things are worth more than my car at this point. Oof. For this prompt, I'm gonna use a wide angle lens because I want to capture the landscape, because of course the whole reason people love to go camping is because of those beautiful views. I'll show you how I add that in towards the end. All right, moving on. Angle. Angle is another ingredient you don't want to miss. Where is the camera in relationship to the subject matter, right? Do we want to be looking up at the subject at a low angle, puts the character in a more dominant hero position? Or do we want to be eye level, which is like a natural perspective? Again, the quick list is in the description below. We got you. I'm gonna be using an eye level because I want the viewer to feel like it's their campsite that they are looking at. What style? Do I want this image to be animated or in a comic style? Or do I want it to be cinematic or hyper realistic? Do I want this to be a digital image or an oil painting? When it comes to style, feel free to use specific medium terms like I mentioned before, but also remember that a lot of AI models are trained from images on the internet. So the best way to get it to understand what you want is to include references it would understand. So feel free to include references to Van Gogh or Da Vinci or Monet, for example. Stable Diffusion not only loves descriptive words, but has a feature where you can upload a photo as a reference with your prompt. However, make sure it's an image that is in the public domain or is one you own. The same thing goes with DALL-E 3, with the additional caveat that they will decline a request for a reference that refers to an artist who is currently living. Ethically, I would say avoiding terms and references to artists living and working is a good rule of thumb to go by when using AI image generators, especially if you plan on using your image for commercial use. You don't really want to get into copyright trouble. But AI image generators are great for using in a pinch, but we also want to respect work created by real-life artists. Finally, don't forget to include your desired aspect ratio and resolution of your image. Aspect ratio affects the height and width and is important so that you don't accidentally create a photo that is too small for where you need it and therefore becomes like a blurry mess when you blow it up somewhere else. Similarly, resolution affects the quality and detail of the image. The higher the resolution, the more detail. The lower the resolution, the less detail. You get the idea. Now, in Midjourney, the first variation of your picture is a smaller resolution. Once you find the one you like, you can upscale it to a higher resolution. Pretty handy. Once again, we have a breakdown of some aspect ratio prompts in the description below. Also, fun thing about Midjourney too is after you've picked your photo, you can also expand it. So you can either have it expand the view so it can become bigger, or you can shrink it down. So if you want to like narrow in on the dog, you can do that. Or if you want a wider view of the landscape, you can do that too. Having answered all those questions to the best of our ability, let's see what our prompt finally looks like. A middle-aged golden retriever lying by a calm lake, watching the birds fly by across the sunset sunset at golden hour. Just to the left of him sits a smoldering campfire casting a warm glow across his fur. A green camping tent sits in the foreground by the fire. A hyper-realistic wide angle, eye level perspective, period, AR 16:9. Let's see what happens when we put this into Midjourney. Already, there's a huge difference in detail. As you can see, we have a lot more going on in this image, but our prompt isn't quite perfect yet. Also, if you're wondering where all of your images are going, Midjourney puts all your outputs into your own webpage with a reference code and prompt. So if you're ever wondering what your prompt was for that really great image you liked way long ago, it's all there. Chances are, if you found this video, you've wasted time with bad prompts and spent all your available credits on your image generator of choice. Well, friend, I have a great resource for you, and you can thank me later, and that is the website Lexica. Lexica will allow you to view unlimited images and prompts without using up any free credits. So for instance, let's input our box cake prompt, a dog laying by a lake. Already you can see tons of images showing this, all ranging in styles, details, lighting, etc. Hover over one you like and it will give you the prompt that was used to generate that image. That way you can see what kind of details have been included and how it was written, which is helpful if you're learning. Additionally, the prompts themselves may feature terms referring to style, texture, and lighting that you can click on, which will then bring you to another page of images specific to that term, which is great to learn about lighting and all that stuff. You can also directly copy the prompt used and apply it to any other AI generator. It may not create the exact same image, but especially if you find one you like on Lexica, it could bring you that much closer to what you're looking for. So put that in your back pocket. But now that we understand the breakdown of what makes a good prompt, let's see what happens when we ask ChatGPT and Google Gemini to do the work for us, because after all, who else should we ask to help us craft the perfect prompt for AI generators than AI? So I straight up asked ChatGPT to create a prompt for ChatGPT that would tell it to work for me as a prompt engineer. The initial result was a little indirect, but it did end up working a bit. However, I tweaked it here and there, and I used it for both Gemini and ChatGPT. So here's what you can type in. You will act as my professional prompt engineer for the AI generator software, Midjourney or DALL-E or Stable Diffusion, whatever you want. I'm creating an image for my business, website, Instagram page, and I need an image that will capture beauty, peace, calm, whatever kind of adjectives you want to put in there. Here's the initial prompt. You're gonna put in the box cake prompt we talked about. I would like you to provide 3 variations, all high resolution, realistic, set in a wide angle lens, or whatever other preferences you have. Just don't forget to include aspect ratio, okay? I did this twice with each avenue, once with our box cake example and once with our homemade cake example, okay? So side by side, I think I like the Gemini responses a little better just because, I mean, like, look at the way it breaks everything down for you. Yeah, but let's start with the prompts we got when we asked ChatGPT and Gemini to enhance the box cake prompt we used, okay? So the dog laying by a lake. For the ChatGPT one, I'm going to delete this variation and just start the prompt at a dog lounging because, again, we want to keep it active at the beginning. Side note, for all the prompts though, the only thing I'm going to edit is the aspect ratio. So I changed it to AR 16:9 at the end of the prompt, so it will read better. That just reads better on Midjourney, which is what I'm using. Okay, now let's see the ChatGPT image. Okay, now the Gemini one. Okay, so side by side, these look pretty awesome. But let's see what happens when we take the prompt ChatGPT and Gemini Enhanced from our fancier one, the one we made together. Let's see if that makes anything better. Is more detail better? Let's see. Okay, so great. Now let's compare the image at the beginning of the video created with our box cake example alone with the ones that the enhanced prompts from ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, so as you can see, while the first image is kind of flat, it doesn't really tell a story, it doesn't have really any nuance. Even though the prompts themselves need a little technical finessing, already you can see the difference having a clear intention and detailed descriptions can have on the output of your image. The reality is, even with a perfectly pristine prompt, you may still be running into some issues. Don't worry. It might not be the prompt's fault. You may be underutilizing some key features. Some common features that you should look for and play with are negative prompts, weight, and seed number. So just like how regular prompts tell AI what you want, negative prompts tell AI what you don't want in your image. Let's use our box cake example, for instance. We want the image to be warm, serene, calm, so I can put words that are opposite to that, such as cold, ominous, depressing, into the negative prompt, and AI will emphasize the positive qualities we mentioned in our initial prompt. So it plays off of opposites, essentially. Stable Diffusion has a separate field for negative prompts, but for Midjourney, use --no followed by what you don't want, and it will pretty much work the same. You can also highlight an area of the image you don't want, or change something like add a hot air balloon, like we did here, because who doesn't like a hot air balloon? Weight, prompt strength, or prompt adherence, they're all the same, they're just under different names, determines how heavily the AI relies on the prompt to create the image. The lower the weight, the more creative AI will get. The higher, the more specific it will be to the idea. However, if you put that setting too high, you may lose some of the variety AI can provide you with, or it'll take it like too literally. If it's too low, it might leave out details such as our boy Sammy, which we don't want. We love Sammy. So it's important to check where your prompt strength is set so that you're getting the desired output from your prompt. This is something you have to play around with a little bit, admittedly, but I recommend about a little less than 3/4 of the way up for your first prompt. This gives AI enough room to play while also remaining true to what you're asking for. If you find the images that you're getting just need like small little tweaks, then check out the seed number. A seed number is a series of numbers that AI attaches to the image it makes from all the values determined by your settings and the prompt. This allows for an infinite amount of variations from one single prompt. So if you use the same seed number with the same prompt and the same values, it will turn out the same image every time. That's how it's supposed to work. If you want to see more variation or even just slight changes, having a look at the seed number is a great place to start. Copying and pasting it next to the prompt you use and then changing one number at a time is a great way to see all the little variations you want. Now, the sign of a real professional prompt engineer is someone who uses natural language enhancements in their prompts. This specifically includes dashes and brackets. They add more nuance to your prompt by adding emphasis, indicating range styles, and altogether make your prompt easier for the generator to read. So dashes are great to include in Midjourney, DALL-E, and Stable Diffusion software prompts because they separate elements, making it easier for the AI to interpret. An instance you would use this would be something like a quiet lakeside -- a lush forest in the background. So there, I'm separating the image of the lake and the description of the forest so it doesn't get lumped together. Another way to use this would be right before your preferred aspect ratio, just like we did earlier. So --AR 16:9 or whatever one you want to use. You can also use it at the end of your prompt for like -- wide angle, all that stuff. Brackets can help communicate where you want the focus to be in an image or add emphasis to the use of certain color, theme, noun, etc. So say I want the lake to be extra whimsical or serene. Let's put brackets around either one of those terms. This effect applies to Midjourney, DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion, but remember to use them sparingly. If you use too many, you might confuse the AI. It's like, I don't know which one's more important. Here are some specific examples you can play around with when using Midjourney. So say you found a prompt that gives you what you're looking for, but you want more options. Type in -- repeat space and insert number. Let's use 7, for example, and it will use the prompt to create 7 different images. Input -- chaos space number, the number being between 1 and 1000, and you've entered chaos mode. This will diversify the variations it creates and give you some more avant-garde ideas. The lower the number, the less variation, the higher the number. Yeah, get the idea. It's the same old game. You can interchange the word chaos with words like weird or stylized or creepy or raw, and they will pretty much do the same thing with consideration of the word you use. But if you really want to get wild, don't be afraid to combine the codes. I know, it's crazy, but why not? Type in -- chaos next to -- weird and dive deep down into the rabbit hole and see just how endless the possibilities are. With all that being said, let's now add some final enhancements to the first prompt we made together all the way back at the beginning of the video. Feels so long ago. A middle-aged golden retriever lying by a calm lake, watching the birds fly across the sunset at golden hour, close bracket. Just to the left of him, sits a smoldering campfire casting a warm glow across his fur, period. A green camping tent sits in the foreground by the fire, period, -- eye level, -- hyper-realistic, -- wide angle lens, -- AR 16:9. And finally, at long last, here is the final image. So let's take the first one and compare them side by side. Now, this image isn't perfect. It's great, but it's not perfect. However, I just saved myself a ton of time by inputting a high quality prompt the first time. From here, the distance between this image and the one I'm after is much smaller than when I started with our box cake example.
I've spent days and days researching, and I'm gonna show you everything that I've learned right in this video. I know you may be thinking, can AI really create the kind of video content you wanna use for your business or social? And is it as easy as it sounds? Well, let me show you. What can you use these AI-generated videos for? You can use them for all kinds of business marketing material. Promo videos, explainer videos, tutorials, testimonials, I think, FAQs, employee appreciation videos, social media content, paid ads, and a lot more. Honestly, if you can think of it, you could probably create it. So we're gonna make 3 different styles of AI-generated videos. Videos generated by AI from scratch. These are more artistic and unique. Getty image-style compilations. These usually have voiceovers and captions. And synthetic actors who can star in your video and say what you want them to. These ones are really great for corporate-style videos. Keep in mind that the prompting for each platform is gonna be slightly different. However, there are a set of principles that you should have on your mind at all times. To start prompting like an experienced content producer, include these details in your text-to-video prompts. I've come up with something called the Video Magic acronym. I know it's a little bit cheesy, but I'm hoping it's gonna help you remember everything better. V is for vision. What is your vision for the content? You wanna clarify your goal and your target audience. I is for illustration. Explain what kind of visual elements that you wanna see. It could be anything. It could be a horse, a sunset, a person. D is for details. Specify the video format, the word count, and the video duration. E is for essence. Determine the styles and colors. For example, storytelling, or cinematic, or is it a commercial? Do you want to see blues or reds? O is for objective. What are you trying to get people to do after watching the video? This could be sign up for our mailing list or call us now. This is also known as a call to action. M is for mood. What do you want the video to feel like? Is it a comedy, a drama? Is it serious or funny? A is for audio. What kind of voice do you want to hear? Male, female, calm, British accent, American accent? This is definitely going to change the experience for the listener. G is for groove. What kind of music do you want to hear? What vibe does it create? I is for innovation. What is going to make your videos stand out and be unique amongst all the other videos? Is there an eye-catching hook or strange visuals you can add in? And lastly, C is for camera movements. What kind of camera setups and movements do you want to see? Is it a close-up? Is the camera panning left? Do you want to zoom in or zoom out? I know that there's a lot to this Video Magic acronym, but stay with me, just trust the process and it's gonna be worth it. AI program number 1, OpenAI's Sora. When Sora released its AI-generated videos, the world was in shock, including me. My jaw literally dropped when I saw their videos, because not too long ago, we were laughing at how funny AI videos looked. Now some of the AI videos are looking way too real. But on a more personal note, is it just me or is this kind of scary and cool? Or maybe both. Anyways, if you want to have an idea of how far AI video generation has come, check out these videos made by Sora. These are the prompts they used. Prompt 1. Several giant woolly mammoths approach, treading through a snowy meadow. Their long woolly fur lightly blows in the wind as they walk. Snow-covered trees and dramatic snow-capped mountains in the distance. Mid-afternoon light with wispy clouds. And a sun high in the distance creates a warm glow. The low camera view is stunning, capturing the large furry mammal and beautiful photography. Depth of field. Prompt number 2. Extreme close-up of a 24-year-old woman's eye blinking, standing in Marrakesh during magic hour. Cinematic film shot in 70mm. Depth of field, vivid colors, and cinematic. You can see some defects in the videos. There are some small signs that give away the fact that it's AI. Like, some of the movements are a bit awkward, people in the background can be a little bit strange, or even the way the camera moves. I know it's not perfect, guys, but keep in mind that this is the worst the technology will be from here on out. And knowing how far it's come in the past 12 months, we can be seeing some unbelievable improvements moving forward. Okay, let's jump into the platforms that generate videos from scratch.
First up is Pika AI. When you get to the front page, they show off some of their previous creations, which are super cool. It's really nice to see what they can do. They even have a feature where you can add sound effects. So you can add birds chirping or ocean waves, and then you can type your prompt in the bar where it says share your story. Type in your prompt because this is your moment to bring out that artist in you and create something incredible. When you create videos on Pika, they're typically around 3 seconds long. So it's kind of nice to create several of them and then just edit them all together. Let's do something fun and create a video for a taco stand to see what it can create. I'm gonna put in my prompt and let's see what it gives me. This video it made me is actually awesome, but the chicken's face does change halfway through, which is a little bit weird, but I still really like it. Okay, so we know our video magic acronym, but let's take it up a level for Pika. There's a few extra details that you may want to consider. Action is key. You want to clearly define the action happening in your video. Are objects moving? People interacting? What is the camera movement like? This is very important, otherwise your video could be a little bit static and boring. You want to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment with the prompts and refine them based on what it generates. Just keep experimenting until you find something you love. Don't worry, you can keep doing this. It's not like the robot has feelings. Or maybe it does. A little bonus tip, use Pika's existing creations as inspiration. You can see what styles and concepts actually work well, and then you can adapt them for your own prompts. So here are a few example prompts designed to create different visual styles using Pika. Retro arcade game. Pixel art style with vibrant colors. A character jumps over a barrel in a side-scrolling environment. Here's another one. A close-up shot in a watercolor style of a pair of hands carefully kneading dough for bread. This one has style, camera angle, and action. And lastly, a time-lapse video in pixel art of a bustling city street with cars, pedestrians, and neon signs at night. This has style, technique, and setting. Even though the AI is doing the work, the more that you know about directing, content creation, film, or cinematography, the better the videos you're gonna get. Speaking of directing, if you're wanting to make a short film or a unique cinematic promo video for your company, Kyber is an incredible option. It's actually one of my favorite platforms because it has really cool features. Kyber can create videos from text prompts. However, you can also upload images and videos to create AI videos as well. You can also take a music file and create a whole video around it. This is perfect for music videos, and those are very expensive to film, let me tell you. But as fun as that all is, we're gonna focus on text prompts today, because you might not have any photos or videos to work off of. So, I wanna show you the power of simple text. When you go to Kyber, the site is full of life. Their motto is discover the artist within you. And that is what we're gonna do today, Kyber. Thank you very much. Do not mind if we do. Now, let's create a gorgeous video. First, you're gonna need to choose your video type. So let's go with motion. Next, you'll need to describe the subject of the video, and then describe the style. Kyber actually recommends styles for you to use, which is super nice. There is a unique guide for prompting with Kyber. Let's go with an illustration for this one. I think that one looks really cool. Here is a special prompting guide for you to use on Kyber. Subject, what do you want to see? Preposition details, so any additional details such as the sunset in the distance. Your setting, for example, this could be Western or futuristic. Meta modifiers and styling. This could be high color depth or photorealistic. Don't worry though, because they give you recommendations on what to use for this one. Prompt weights. You can use parentheses to add emphasis to certain words. So, for example, you can emphasize the strong in a strong lion. You can combine styles, and you don't have to choose just one thing. You could do something like retro painting with cyberpunk elements. And you also want to refine. Just experiment by changing keywords and weights to achieve the outcome that you desire. Lastly, learn from others. You can actually explore the Kyber community and use other people's content for inspiration and prompt examples. You can also adjust the length of the video, the aspect ratio. I'm gonna do 9:16 to show you what it can create for something like TikTok. You can change the model and the amount of motion you get in the video. So it depends on how still or dynamic you want the shot to be. So have fun and just play around with this until you get what you want. The video it made me is actually so sick. Look at these Dalmatians. They are more stylish than I am. If you want to make a product demo video using your own product, you can actually just upload an image and see what it can make for you. It's kind of a little bit like hiring an animator. Now, if you are in charge of creating the content for your company or for your employer, here are some platforms that create more corporate style videos. They compile and edit together Getty images and videos for you. First, let's talk about InVideo. You can use InVideo to create all kinds of amazing promotional or educational videos for your company. like this one. Even better, you can combine it with videos that have real actors, and I'll show you how to create that in a few minutes. But first, if you're having trouble coming up with a really good prompt, you can actually get ChatGPT to become your prompt creator. The robots will be talking to each other, because AI knows AI best, and it will actually come up with prompts for you. So type this into ChatGPT. I want you to become my prompt creator. Your goal is to help me craft the best possible prompt for my needs. The prompt will be used by InVideo to generate video from text. You will follow the following process. Your first response will be to ask me what the prompt will be about. I will give my answer, but you will need to improve it by going through the next steps. Based on my input, you will generate 3 sections. A revised prompt. You will provide your written prompt. It should be clear, concise, and easily understood by AI. Suggestions. Give me suggestions on what details to include in the prompt. Questions. Ask relevant questions pertaining to what additional information would improve the prompt. We will continue this process with me providing additional information to you and you updating the prompt in the revised prompt section until it's complete. So it gave us a very long prompt. Let's take it and let's add it into InVideo to see what we get. This is super duper specific. Your prompt does not need to be near as long, but I just wanted to show you what ChatGPT can do for you. It might be a little bit of overkill, but it only takes a few minutes to generate your video. And it generated a pretty nice video for me. I like that it showcases the staff interacting with the dogs, and it shows different dog breeds. It's very well done. However, I do want to change the accent of the voice and the music a little bit. So if you want to do that, you can add changes in the text bar, or you can click edit and then just edit the script to add or remove text that you don't like. I'm going to change the beginning of the script and add a hook. Nice, that is a lot better. If you think your prompt is good, but you don't like the video, you can just regenerate it with a slight edit. Look at what we can do. Let's tell it to make it more American. As you can see, the free version of InVideo puts a giant watermark on your videos, which definitely is not ideal, but you can just get rid of that if you upgrade to one of their subscriptions. If you're making educational content and you need an actor, here are some platforms that create actors for you. These actors will literally act out your script for free. It's kind of scary as an actor myself, but the AIs are not perfect. However, they are replicas of human beings, so they do a pretty good job of being personable. I actually watched a video made with one of these AI actors while doing research for this video, and at first it was a little bit weird, but after a while I started to almost feel like it was a real person, which was super impressive. If you're looking for an easy way to make videos in several languages, Synthesia can translate your video into over 120 languages. Go to Synthesia and make an account. It's gonna ask you a bunch of questions about what kind of videos you wanna create so that it can be more catered to you. And now we're gonna need a script. So we can just go over to ChatGPT and ask it to make us a 1-minute voiceover script. We just copy that and put it in the script section in Synthesia, and boom, we have ourselves a video. There are a bunch of cool settings on this app. You can change your background, edit the text, choose a specific avatar, a voice, you can add captions, and you can even change the music in the background. It is very customizable. Nice, it is looking really good. So here are some tips on how you can prompt a killer video with Synthesia. Choose a character that aligns with your brand or your content style. You can customize their appearance, their clothing, their hair, and whatever else you want to change. You can also leverage their advanced editor for more detailed control over things like facial expressions, gesture, and the music. So just describe the character's action, such as their gestures, their facial expressions, and a desired delivery style. This could be something like confident or enthusiastic or serious. Then you can explain your desired tone of voice. Do you want them to sound professional, friendly, or humorous? Lastly, specify camera angles. Is it a close-up? Is it a wide shot? And you can add transitions between scenes. This isn't necessary, but it is a very nice touch. Look at the video it created for me.
From feeding to playing, we ensure every need is met. Our staff forms special bonds with each dog, providing personalized care and attention.
If you're creating internal training videos and you need 2 or more actors, you need to try Colossyan. Colossyan is a pretty cool app because you can add several actors onto the screen at once. I do find that their actors are the most realistic out of these 3 options, and you can even turn the angle of the actors to face each other and have them look like they're having a real conversation. You can customize the colors and style to fit your branding. You can also upload things like your logos and anything else important to keep a very consistent style. Colossyan will also create music for you. And you can add in things like transitions to make the videos feel more dynamic. Once your video is done, you can translate it into over 70 languages in just a few clicks. Here are some of Colossyan's special features. They have a huge range of AI avatars to choose from. They also have text-to-speech, so you can use their technology to create professional voiceovers using text. If you don't want to use your own voice, you don't have to. They have import options, so you can add life into existing content like PDFs or blogs or any written content, and get the actors to act them out for you. Here is how to master prompts for Colossyan. Scene setting. Describe the environment and set the stage for your actor. Where are they? A character introduction, so details of your character's appearance, their personality, and their role within the story. Who are your actors and what are they there for? What are they talking about? Action and delivery. So you want to talk about your character's actions, movements, and delivery style. Here are a few extra tips and tricks for Colossyan. You can provide references. So if you have a specific idea in mind, such as certain clothing styles, locations, or actions, you can provide a reference image so that the AI can get it right. Use specifications. Colossyan actually allows you to set the video tone, the context, and the target audience so you can make a more focused video. Once you are obsessed with your new creation, just click generate. You can then download it into MP3, MP4, or even into a SCORM format. This is for e-learning platforms. Rather than creating a whole video with text prompts, you can also just scroll through their templates. This is really quick and you can get a ready-made video to use. All you have to do then is just add in the script. Do you create videos full-time or super often? Veed is going to save you hours and hours of work. It has a huge library of unique AI tools that are going to help you a lot with your videos. With things like Veed Eye Tracker, you can change where your eyes look and make sure you're looking where you're supposed to. You can also clone your own voice and get AI to do all of the work for you. Once it knows your voice, you can make a whole voiceover with just text. It can create a teleprompter for you if you're reading from a very long script. It can even make thumbnails for you, which will save you a ton of hours. In the creator section, you can paste scripts that will be turned into dialogue. You can customize the language, the speaker style, and select the perfect synthetic actor. You can play around with the details in your video till you find something that you absolutely love. This is so much easier than traditional editing, and I honestly wish that I had this when I first became a content creator. So with your actor, you can do things like adjusting their size in the frame, you can add backgrounds, and you can actually even include a green screen and add a background later on. Veed is unique because it has an AI-powered video editing feature. So you can identify sections within your video where you want Veed's AI to help you, like captions, aspect ratios, or even creating a montage. Another really cool thing is that Veed integrates with various platforms, such as YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a ton more. This is the one you have been waiting for. Are you trying to make movies or short films with AI? Say hello to your new best friend, LTX Studio. This is made by Lightricks. It is an all-in-one video creation platform. You just give it a prompt like space drama and it will create a storyboard of generated videos for an entire film, guys. You can tweak and edit every shot and scene. It will generate an entire AI movie from a single prompt. One prompt, guys, and it's not using stock footage. It's actually generating unique footage using AI. It can also create the music, the sound effects, and the dialogue. So another really cool thing is that if you want to just change one object in the scene, you just click on the object and you can specifically change that one thing. So if a car is green and you don't like it, you can just make it red. If you don't like the order of your scenes, you can also drag and drop them around. LTX Studio prides themselves on character consistency. So once the character is dialed in, it's going to be consistent through all the scenes. This is very important if you're creating a film. And you can actually customize the lighting and a ton of other things to make it perfect. Here are a few other AI platforms worth mentioning. Lip sync. You can sync your AI videos or photos to audio files, and it moves the mouth of the characters in your video to the audio file. So you can use songs or voiceovers for this. Emo. You can input an image and add a song or audio file, and it looks like the person in the image is singing the song. And it actually even shows the emotions on their face to make it match the audio, which was really fun to watch. Their head movements also make it really realistic. Anamorph can take one film and storyline and reorder the scenes to create unlimited versions of that film, kind of like the multiverse. You could generate a new movie every time someone watches it. So it's like made for each audience. 11 Labs. If you want a voiceover but not video, this platform does great text-to-speech. Wow, that was a wild experience. AI is growing every single day. We are entering into a world of possibilities. Now is the time to use AI to your advantage. Things that were once very inaccessible are starting to become accessible for everyday people using AI. There has never been an easier time to become an entrepreneur. And if you're looking to get your business up and running, but you have been procrastinating, you can start a free Shopify trial today and get your storefront up in minutes. And then you can literally create video content for your brand also within minutes. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I hope that you found this information useful. If you end up creating video content using any of these apps, please let us know. It would be very fun to see what you create. And also, let us know if you have any questions as well, because we are here to help you along the way. Again, I am Charisma Collins, a content creator and host with Learn with Shopify. Thank you so much for watching. I love seeing your guys' comments below, so please say hi and leave us a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.